In the 1950s, many households faced winters without reliable heating, and, bedrooms were often the coldest rooms in the house. Families discovered a simple yet remarkably effective method to stay warm all night: the bed box. This wasn't a gimmick. It was practical, ingenious, and, honestly, something modern enthusiasts and survivalists can still apply today. The principle is straightforward. Create an enclosed space around the bed to trap body heat, insulating the sleeper from the cold air circulating in the room. This method allowed people to maintain warmth without cranking up stoves, electric heaters, or relying on thick, expensive bedding. A bed box was essentially a wooden or partially enclosed frame built around a bed. The sides, often solid panels, extended up from the bed frame and sometimes reached near the ceiling. At the head of the bed there might be a partial panel or heavy curtain to block drafts. The purpose was to create a micro-environment where body heat could accumulate. Families often lined the inside with textiles like quilts, blankets, or even repurposed curtains, enhancing the insulating effect. The box didn't completely seal the sleeper off, but it minimized heat loss while maintaining airflow enough to prevent stuffiness. The cleverness lay in its simplicity. By reducing the exposed surface area to cold air, the bedbox allowed people to conserve heat naturally. A bed that might otherwise feel freezing in January became a cozy, stable space. In many cases, children slept in these boxes without ever needing additional blankets, and adults layered only light quilts or linen. Wood was the most common material for the box frame because it's a natural insulator. Panels could be made from solid planks, plywood, or even reclaimed furniture doors. The insulating effect increased when families layered textiles against the wood. Heavy curtains at the sides, quilts at the headboard, and thick blankets over the mattress. Every layer slowed heat loss. Even the smallest details mattered back then. Many households would add a thin mattress topper, often made of wool or feather, to further trap warmth beneath the sleeper. You see, wool, with its natural insulating properties, retained heat even in the dampest conditions, while feather bedding provided light but highly effective thermal retention. These layers worked together in harmony. The wooden frame kept the cold air out, and the textiles retained the heat produced by the sleeper's body. Now, the location of the bed within the room was quite critical. In the 1950s, folks often avoided placing beds against exterior walls that bore the brunt of the cold. If it was unavoidable, they would leave a small gap between the bed and the wall, covering the space with curtains or insulating panels. Some families went a bit further, placing the bed near interior walls or in corners that naturally trapped warmth from stoves or radiators. The bed box, you see, amplified this effect by creating a contained thermal pocket, allowing the small amount of heat in the room to become far more effective. Even airflow played a subtle role. Complete airtightness wasn't desirable, as it could lead to dampness or discomfort. Slight gaps at the foot of the bed or near the ceiling allowed stale air to escape while retaining the bulk of the body heat. This balance of insulation and ventilation is something that, survivalists and DIY enthusiasts can still use today, in unheated cabins, tiny homes, or even for camping setups during those chilly nights. Modern homeowners or survivalists can apply the bedbox method without having to reconstruct an entire bedroom. One can simply create a temporary enclosed space using heavy curtains suspended from a simple frame or even a tension rod. It's quite practical, really. Old wardrobes or room dividers, they can serve as side panels and blankets or quilts. Well, they can be draped along the walls of the enclosure. In those unheated spaces, this approach reduces reliance on energy-intensive heaters and keeps warmth nicely localized. For historical reenactors or those interested in living off-grid, constructing a simple wooden frame with panels and insulating the inside with textiles replicates the 1950s experience perfectly. It's a fascinating blend of the old and the new, isn't it? Even in modern apartments, creating a small enclosed bed area can improve comfort in winter, you see, reduce heating bills and offer insight into past domestic ingenuity. Households often paired the bedbox with other minor adjustments. It's all about finding comfort and efficiency, really. Warming the bed before sleep using hot water bottles or heated stones, layering wool undergarments, and wearing simple head coverings like linen caps. All of these, you know, contributed to overnight warmth. These methods were often overlooked, but when combined with the bedbox, they created a surprisingly effective system. Another overlooked element was bedding arrangement. Families would use multiple thin quilts instead of a single thick one, stacking them strategically inside the enclosure. This allowed heat to rise from the sleeper's body without escaping the box, basically creating a sort of thermal reservoir. The 1950s bedbox is more than just a curiosity. It's really a lesson in practical resourcefulness. It shows us that heat conservation doesn't require advanced technology, just a bit of understanding about how to trap warmth and prevent drafts. This principle is, well, universal, whether in historical homes, off-grid cabins, or emergency shelters. Creating a contained, insulated space around the sleeper is highly effective. It also reinforces the importance of layering and material choice. Wool, feather, and even thick cotton remain highly effective insulators. Structural design, positioning, and airflow all matter, proving that small design decisions can dramatically improve comfort. For survivalists, these lessons can be applied in cabins, tents, or improvised shelters where every degree of retained heat counts. For modern applications, start small. Build a simple frame around your bed using wood or repurpose furniture. Line the interior with thick textiles, ensuring some ventilation. Use multiple quilts rather than a single heavy blanket, and add a thin mattress topper, if possible. For temporary solutions, hang heavy curtains around the bed to mimic the enclosure effect. Even without rebuilding a room, these adjustments can significantly increase overnight warmth and reduce dependence on external heating. Oh, and don't be afraid to experiment with positioning. Beds placed away from cold exterior walls with insulating panels or curtains retain heat more effectively. And, slight gaps near the floor or ceiling ensure ventilation without significant heat loss. Use natural insulators like wool or feather bedding, and consider small heat sources like hot water bottles for pre-warming the bed. By following these steps, the 1950s bedbox method can be applied today with minimal effort but maximum effect. The bedbox method shows us that past generations didn't just survive winter. They thrived using clever, practical designs that maximized the limited resources available. For historians, survivalists and DIY enthusiasts, it's a reminder that simple structural and material choices can make a profound difference. Understanding and applying these methods is both a practical skill and a connection to the ingenuity of the past. If you want to preserve these practical historical insights and make them a part of your modern life, consider experimenting with the bedbox method yourself. Share your results with friends or in history-focused communities. And for more detailed explorations of forgotten domestic techniques, historical hacks, and practical survival skills, subscribe to the Wisdom for the Journey channel and share this guide with fellow history enthusiasts. Every household secret we uncover is a lesson waiting to be applied today.